Welcome back. Welcome back. It's middays with Marcus Maben. 8150 939 is the number. 939 is the station. And I can't get this word out of my head. Freedom. I just can't get that word out of my head today. This is going to be a very free spirited Friday show. Steve Brummage is back in the building. Brian Hall is in the booth. Uh huh. Just throw that out there right away. Is this your way of throwing it out there, setting everybody up for your move that is coming, or what's the word, unavoidable move to Tennessee? That that makes sense. Brian Hall, you sound terrible in my ear. What's going on? Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, you're not allowed to cough or sneeze in 2020, right? Oh, I felt I felt horrible for Drew about 7:22 this morning. Like, people don't know, you're just now warming up your voice at 7:22 in the morning, and Drew coughs, and it's like up, up. Like immediately everything that Drew has ever said about playing sports goes out the window. See, that's why you can't play sports, because Drew coughed. It's too early on a Friday to start making jokes like that. Come on, guys, let's stay focused. Okay, so Steve, we can't start a Friday show without catching you up through the week. I mean, give me something exciting. Everybody's always asking me, what is Steve enjoying so much? Do you have some secret cult or some sex club down there in Gatlinburg that you have to go to? Like, it has to be something, Steve, that keeps you running down there. And people are asking me all kind of questions. I just need you to give them an explanation. What's the thing that you don't want to admit you do when you go to Gatlinburg? Yes. That's confession enough, Steve. Look, just book them and don't pay for them. Oh, you still wait? You still believe that, Steve? Yes, no matter what state you're in. No, no. Listen, a regular trip to the store. Like I said, I'm careful about people's semantics nowadays because if you say something like the phrase of, I mean, most people were doing it, but there were still a couple people. I'm like, okay, you're just like you're automatically in this lower tier on my human scale. You know what I'm saying? Like if you and no, no, not human scale, in your mentality scale. Because it's like being around you is gonna depress me in some kind of way. If you say if 95% of people were doing something right and you're only focusing on the 5% that are doing something you don't like, I'm just like, you're gonna make me miserable. Either in 5 minutes or in 5 years, I'm gonna be miserable. For the majority of the time hanging around you because you only notice that kind of stuff. But yeah, going out in public, I realized 95% of the public you're around and you come into contact with is extremely considerate. But listen, but you don't come home and say, "Oh man, today, man, I went and got 10 things done, and in nine of the places they were like so nice and so considerate." You know what you do? You come home and say, "Man, when I went to the gas station at one place, the lady threw my change across the counter, and I'm like, man, lady, you so rude." And I'm like, "Did you have any other good experiences?" Yes, you did 10 things today. You had 10 great experiences. You got your food right at Wendy's. They had your dry cleaning ready. They gave you, listen, they gave you the extra 2 pennies because you owed 2 pennies and you didn't want to break a dollar. And all these good things happened today, but you know what you came home talking about? You got your change thrown into a little extra stink on it or something. So, mhm. Right, right, but you never notice any of that. I mean, well, a lot of people don't. Right. And the fact that you acknowledged it. Right. Right. You're right. Brian, where's your happy place? Yes, Steve's happy place is Gatlinburg. Where's your happy place? 8150 Feel free to jump in on anything we're talking about. 3831 Feel free to text whatever we're talking about. We got Steve back manning the text line, and I am manning the YouTube channel made for the Ville. I thought you were ready to go for your team. I have go ahead. I feel like I have to answer that question. I just didn't want to like leave that one on y'all. Um, let me think about it because I have four places that I don't even want to confess. I'm listening, Steve. That was fast, but slow down, Steve. Gold dust. Chan wins. Steve, allow me to retort. Now I'm gonna prepare the world for not the world. I'm just gonna prepare listeners for 93.9 because the world doesn't get to hear this moment. Steve, we all know that let's just say the media and the world capitalizes on your insecurities. Your insecurities are you're always one thought away from running yourself into the ground, right? Through an insecurity that pops up out of nowhere. Like you could have the perfect situation, the perfect spouse, the perfect okay. Like I don't want to use your relationship, but I will because everybody like kind of your relationship is a caricature. So everybody can imagine Steve and Charity, even if you've never seen them. Just imagine Steve and Charity. Okay, Steve and Charity are having a great time, right? And they're like just in a perfect place and they feel like they're in love and Steve is just watching his beautiful wife prance all over the beach and something and then just while he's staring at his wife with the beach background and the sunset and all these things everything's going great and just like I said life is perfect, right? And then oh my god, I can't think of his name. Steve, you're gonna have to help me think of his name. Ooh, look at his abs. Who am I talking about? Okay. uh, okay, listen. Just for a fact that this is the Louisville market. I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry, CJ. I'm sorry, Josh. I'm just gonna ruin this story and make it just a little. I'm gonna add a little more sting to it. Like Eminem in 8 Mile or something. I'm just gonna make it a little more live, right? So we're still having this moment. Steve is watching his beautiful wife prance with the beach background and all these great things, and life is perfect, right? And Steve is, 6'2", and Charity's what, 5'2", and what I'm saying, he's just laying on the beach and watching, and he's getting ready to say, "Come here, girl." And then all of a sudden, who runs in between the path of Steve and Charity, just running by exercising, but he's sweating and he's getting it in? Aiden the Gahan, right? And listen, he doesn't slow down. He just runs right on through and says, "Oh, pardon me." And he keeps running. And he doesn't have a shirt on. And he has those short Louisville, look, those new popular short shorts that everybody's wearing, all these young punks are wearing. And all Charity does is a quick, short double take. Right? And that double take, Steve, sticks in your mind for the entire trip from Florida to the state of Kentucky. And you can't say anything, but you just realized your whole marriage might be ready to crash because you can't get the thought of, listen, my life was perfect, but I can't get that one thought out of my head. Right? Like, we all can do that to ourselves, right? At some point, just bring in an irrational fear or an irrational thought that replicates, okay? So the reason I told you all that is to say, I are you actually picturing Aiden running through you? Running by? Okay, so the point is, Steve, I listened to that. I listened to the national pundits. I looked at the video of their faces. And by the way, people don't know, on Made for the Ville, I'm gonna bring it up so people can know the video I'm talking about. Okay, but right. Okay, so I'm listening to the national pundits. I'm listening to Mikhail, not only good but great. I'm listening to what their season projections are, and I'm listening to all these things. And this one thought, this was my Aiden running through, and my girl doing a double shake, taking him. Right? They're gonna get the big head. So Aiden ran by, and I said, they're gonna get the big head. Because they all just saw this, right? And now I'm thinking about all the ways that they've been sitting around in the dorms watching media coverage nonstop, watching fear of cancellation nonstop. Okay. but you understand what I'm saying? Like, it just started manifesting into, there ain't no way they're going to be, after all this psychological, tug of war, there is no way they're going to be able to meet expectations. And again, I tried to like get that out of my thought and just say, Marcus, I'm having a perfect day, or Steve, I'm having a perfect day with my wife on the beach and everything's perfect and everything's beautiful. Why would that double take ruin everything we built up? Right? Like, everybody's saying these the right things. My coach is on national TV being perfect. My players. What did your boy say on his interview yesterday? Yasir, about practice. He's like, yeah, they talk. We talk. Like, I couldn't have begged for one of my guys to be a little non-conformative, to be a little cliche. Just so they're not following coach's orders like some other schools or something. Like, just so they're speaking for themselves. They're being themselves. We talk bleep, they talk bleep. Like watching them be themselves. All the perfect subliminal signs that say they're ready to get some work in. I just threw all that away with the simple thought of, this is a lot of praise, and it's hard to deal with this praise and not let it get to your head. Right. Mm, hmm. Out of, yeah, what appears to be what happened. Right. We got to play. And if you go off the Frank Ponce interview a couple of days ago, him talking about the way Mikael Cunningham has separated himself, which I didn't really get a chance to get to yesterday. I wanted to also ask you, did you feel like that says more about Mikael or something about Puma um and I'm sorry, I'm blanking. Puma and hang me out to dry, Steve. Evan Conley. You know what I was getting ready to say, Steve? And this sucks. This absolutely sucks. And I'm gonna wash my mouth out with soap during the first commercial break. You know what I couldn't think of Evan Conley's name, and I was just gonna say this out loud just to get myself kind of trying to think refresh my mind. I was gonna say COVID. No, I was going to say COVID. No, yeah. Listen, that was the only thing. I was trying to think of Conley, but the only thing I could think of is COVID. Yes, that's how COVID has infected my brain. Subliminally, that I can't even think of Evan Conley. By the way, before we hit the commercial break, I got it, Steve. I got my happy place. Now, the reason it was difficult is because I like Vegas, right? I like Vegas. I snuck out there a couple times. I like Vegas. Yep, Rhonda. Shout out to Rhonda. I think she threw a Vegas out there. I like Vegas. I like because I like dry heat. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I'm riding in my car, people, of course, people think I'm crazy. I can crank up the heat instead of my car like it's a dry sauna, and it just like I love it. Right? Tennessee heat gets like that. Um, Even Lebanon, Beirut, Lebanon, dry heat, right on the coast. This beautiful, beautiful place. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking about those dry heat times, right? And I'm like, what can beat that? And then I went Asheville, North Carolina. Oh my God, those mountains. You get up there, like I said, the last two times I've been there on bad business. Oh, well, one of the two I was there on bad business, and then good business because I was at Cam's wedding. So the wedding made Asheville, North Carolina, the mountains. I'm like, that's a good, happy place to be in because it smells different. It's like untouched purity up there. You know what I'm saying? In that smell. And then Steve, so that was the race, right? And then coming up fast on the backside of the track, my happy place, I realized once I thought of this happy place, I was like, what just can give me so much joy as a happy place, right? You know what it was? You want to know what my last happy place was? I mean, I think my permanent happy place is young fella's backyard. I went to Clarksville, Tennessee. Last time I went to Clarksville, Tennessee, and I went through the golf course area, and then I turned into the neighborhood, and I went up this street, and it's a nice, nice neighborhood, right? And I'm going up the street, and people are just out there walking real slow, and like it was the place that didn't have a care in the world, right? And I pulled up in this driveway, and I saw young Jalen Reed's baby in this neighborhood walking out as comfortable and serene as I've ever seen in my life. And he has these dreads and he's coming out to check the mail. And I'm just like, look at this, right? And I pull into the area, and then we end up going into the backyard, and he got the gazebo, the built-in, almost like the built-in in-ground gazebo in the back, and it's just like land in the back, and he got little places for a flower garden. It's a hammock back there, Steve, and it's just like this backyard is like the you couldn't make a better comfortable home, right? And I'm just like, this backyard is just the nicest place that I've been in my life. Right? And I'm like, this is my happy. Yes, this is my happy place. And I love it. I might go down there while he's in Detroit. Just let me go hang out down there. Yeah, yeah. Quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus and Baby on 939 The Ville.